Terror on the Tube.
Welcome to Terror on the Tube, where we watch and discuss horror and suspense made for TV movies from the 70s, 80s, and now thrice the 1990s. I am Gilman Joel, and my co-hosts are Pumpkinhead Peter.
Hello.
And the horror unicorn, aka Allison.
Hello.
I never get that pointing correct. There you go.
Nope.
Then you freeze up when you're like halfway through a point, which is hilarious. All right, so I am happy to say this is our third 1990s movie we're covering, and this is a bonus episode for anybody's wondering, wait. You guys had Catherine Mary Stewart on The Annihilator, and she picked a different movie. We know. We'll get to that by the end.
Not a bonus. This would have popped up anyway. But
I want to say real quick, that movie is available on archive.org if anybody.
Which is which one? Annihilator, or the other one that she picked?
The one that we are doing after
The Eyes of Charlie or something.
Eyes of Charles Sand from 1972.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, I'm calling it a bonus because it's not the one we picked, and we're just kind of like. And by the way, I checked. I can see now. Originally, we had like seasons that we were doing. Right now, we're just kind of just going.
I just put everyone in a because I discovered that if you had a movie we really wanted to do, and we did it by seasons, and there was one that was like it's like this. The list I've now compiled it's equal opportunity for all movies, and it's easier to.
But you know what's hilarious, Peter, and this is totally by accident. Annihilator was the 10th episode that we had done since this, like the new season. Mm-hmm. And every single season prior to this, after 10 episodes, the 11th episode was a bonus. And guess what? Boom.
No.
Okay. So we just instinctually chose
we just do. We just
muscle. And also, I'm gonna tell the name of the movie, but we're recording on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Yay.
And the movie is called Nightmare on the 13th Floor.
Indeed.
From 1990.
And
a quick thing.
Yes.
I wanted to bring this up because in our show art thingy that's up on Spotify and all those places and whatever you find your podcasts, we have the iconic shot of Kathleen Hughes from Came from Outer Space. That movie. You have that black and white where she's kind of screaming in terror and all that.
Yeah.
I went in and checked, and I found out that as of May this year,
we're violating copyright.
No, she passed away.
What?
May,
I made a bad joke for.
I know. She was 96 years old.
Okay.
So,
look, also, by the way, everybody's been going on and on about like Brian Wilson just passed away. He's 82. Who was the other? Oh, the guy who played Deep Throat, not in that movie, in X-Files.
The actor, yeah.
86. And look, it's sad. Obviously, you don't want, people passing away always sucks. I get that. It's best to their families. But let's be honest, especially 96. You start getting past, especially like what's the average for a
you've had a good life. If you go past 90, I feel
I kind of feel like if you get past if you're a dude, you get past 75, unless you're like some crazy health nut.
Oh shit.
Every day's kind of a gift. So Peter, you got like at least a year and a half left.
Yeah.
I challenge you to go to retirement village and give them this.
Oh, the villages. And you heard about the villages here in Florida? Have you heard about that?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Where the STDs run rampant because of all the wrinkly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be.
Yep.
No, I thought I'd bring that up because it's kind of it's an iconic shot, and we have it on our show art. So I thought that was.
Yes. And if anybody has a problem with that for copyright reasons, blame Peter. He made the art.
Oh, listen, that shot it was a publicity shot for a movie that is.
You can explain that to the lawyers,
perfect.
Peter.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And
I love art. I'm gonna be pissed if I take it down because I'm talking. I'm
saying a little toast to the actress on the art.
Yep, indeed.
All
right, so we are talking Nightmare on 13th Floor in our bonus episode, Peter.
Sure.
And I figure every 10 episodes we'll do like a bonus one. What that might mean is we'll have to pick one from your list that maybe you had in mind for a number, but it's like, dang it, we want to cover this and we're never getting to it, Peter. Like Nightmare on 13th Floor, which, by the way, I had never seen, and I know this is one that we had all talked about.
Yeah, we talked about it for some time.
Because Allison, you hadn't seen this one either, right?
No, I have. I've seen it multiple times. I first saw it as a kid on the USA Network because it was made by USA, and it was in regular rotation with a lot of their other made for TV horror movies.
She can do that. She's allowed to.
Yeah, it was a cable horror staple in the early 90s, along with a bunch of other stuff. Well, like that Haunting of Sarah Hardy film that we did, and also the Haunting of Seacliff Inn are also USA movies.
Yeah.
I would argue not as fun as this one, but USA started doing like their own churning out the TV movies like pretty heavily starting in the 80s.
And it's so funny because I watched like that lady because I watched Commander USA. I loved Commander USA. And I watched that, and then and I was watching it certainly into the early 90s, and I remember promos for this thing. And I never, for this movie. Oh, okay. And I think, here's the thing up front, I had never seen it. There's another movie I've never seen that I've always wanted to see with Kathleen Quinlan called Trapped, where it's like her trapped in some high rise.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I think I conflated the two. I've never seen either. Is that on our list too? Because that's not a TV movie.
That's also a USA Network movie.
Is it really?
Yeah, from 1989. So you probably saw them.
I'm not gonna lie. I think whenever I was getting excited, whenever we brought up this movie, I think I was actually meaning that movie.
So I pulled up a list from an article from Bloody Disgusting about USA Network original horror movies from from a 20-year period. So if you want me to read it later,
no, we will. We will absolutely get to that. But because we will otherwise have an aneurysm, the elder statesman of the podcast, Pumpkinhead Peter.
See, had this been on the other podcast,
yes,
you might have gotten one of these fingers.
Okay. That's good.
Nightmare on the 13th Floor, 1990.
Yes.
Let's see. Originally released on Wednesday, October 31st.
Yep.
1990 on the USA Network. So this is Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have done it then.
This is Halloween. All right. So
a reporter
yes
investigates the disappearances. Well, that is a blatant lie now that I've watched the movie. A reporter investigates the disappearances of guests at a hotel, which she is writing a report about. Well, it's not a complete lie. Along the way, she will find an unmarked 13th floor where a murderer is on the loose.
Okay, so can we get this out of the way first? Is that real? That whole 13th floor thing, like hotels don't. Yeah. They used to do that.
Yeah. It's so there wouldn't be like a missing floor that's an actual physical floor, but they would just renumber.
So it'd be 12,
so
14,
like the 14,
15.
yeah. So your 13th floor would be your 14th floor. But yeah, there was a superstition about it.
Yeah.
So do they still do that in hotels that you know of?
I don't know, but I would imagine not.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Silly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because the 13th floor, the 14th floor is the 13th floor. So
yeah, I mean, it's just a technicality.
Yeah. You're screwed without knowing it.
Yeah,
I'm on the 14th floor. So
that's awesome. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, Peter, had you ever seen this movie before?
I had not.
That's because you were not blessed in your communist utopia to have the USA Network.
Really?
Wow.
I think it'd be weird for another country to have
the USA Network.
The USA Network, unless it was just movies making
fun
of
in brackets.
We put McDonald's everywhere. Why would we put the USA Network?
Yeah.
I mean, there's Hooters in Prague.
There you go.
See, there's a joke there. I'm not touching.
Good for you, Peter.
No, but see, a lot of the TV movies over here some of them were released like theatrically, and then we got them on VHS and all of that. So it might have been out here. I'm not sure. I never.
It probably been released to tape for you. I would
probably
think. Yeah. So you'd never seen this before at all, though. Like,
nope.
You'd heard of it.
I've seen the start. Yeah, because Allison's been talking.
I was saying, besides Allison's mentioning of it, I don't know.
Because I was like, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
So, Allison, when was the last time you watched it?
Oh, it's been a few years.
Okay.
I noticed when we get to it, I noticed a new funny little detail that was unintentional that made me laugh pretty hard this
Is it at the
watch.
end? Is it
It
near
was
the
towards
end?
the end, yeah.
Is it a line that someone says?
No, it was a physical movement that I don't think
Okay.
was intended.
Okay, because
It
there's a
was pretty
line that a certain
funny.
So
character said.
it wasn't this line. The croissants won't bounce a pipe off your head.
No, this would
There's
be
some
a
good crazy dialogue.
no.
in
There is
it.
a line at towards the end that I'll just say our revealed villain says, relating to like there was no other choice, but it's the way he says it is so like almost like with squeaky earnestness. There's no other point. Like,
Yeah.
considering who that person is on top of it, I burst out laughing. I do not think that was. I don't think they.
No, it's not. But this movie, I would put in. It's not as nuts as Invitation to Hell, but it's got similar theming and it's pretty wacky in a lot of ways. And I think that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
That and also the 13th floor is badass.
I will get this out of the way now to say I did not hate the movie.
I knew you were going to say.
Boy.
But here's the problem. Because you know what?
Told you this yesterday.
I'll tell you, but here's why. Here's why though.
No.
I guess it's on me 100%. It's about expectation. One, I think I legitimately went in thinking it was trapped. Like, because I thought this was going to be a woman trapped in high rise with crazy axe murderer movie, not what it ends up being about.
Like
which
a
I'm sure
slasher.
Yes, that or like it was Lifetime or like grounded in some kind of reality movie. I thought it was gonna be more like that, and so I that what I'm talking about, like a Lifetime type of like suspense thriller, and it wasn't that obviously. And if I'm being honest with you, the lead was and it's not really. I don't blame like the actress. I think it's just the way it was written. A bit dull, and like they're like why she like her like just the whole like Nancy Drewness of it could have been.
I will agree with you there. Like I've never been a big fan of the main character.
Yeah, like I guess had it gone even more hard in the paint with the wackiness of what and again we'll get into in a minute what it actually is because we do spoil. I know we don't technically say it in the opening, but we do spoil.
Yeah,
so if you don't want to be spoiled for this 35-year-old TV movie from USA.
Oh, and by the way, since we didn't announce this movie, maybe people should just pause it and go watch the movie and then come back.
It is on YouTube. Every version on YouTube has subtitles in Spanish, I think.
I think it's Spanish.
You say that. I don't think the one I watched had
subtitles. No, I think there is actually one. There's not.
There's one out. For years, I've only ever been able to find it with subtitles, but there's literally no other way to watch it. It's not streaming on any services. There might be a DVD or Blu-ray out there, but like, why would you just blind buy that if you didn't already like it?
We would.
I mean, okay, never mind.
I absolutely. If I found like at a thrift store or something for a couple bucks, but because I love the cover. Like if poster, which but
then you'd be extra mad because you're like, I had expectations.
You'd
be like all the people that saw the Chopping Mall poster and then saw the movie that was originally titled Killbots and felt like they had been deceived.
You've been duped, people.
Listen,
hold on.
VHS covers in the 80s. I mean, are you really surprised? How many movies
did you guys see the IMDb page?
Oh yeah,
because I'm bringing up the poster. I want people to see it. So that by the way. So in my defense, minus the two gargoyles at the top, which quite frankly could be anything, that could just be decoration. Now knowing what the movie's about, I get what the reference kind of thing is.
Not technically a lie.
No,
everything that's happening on that cover is in the TV movie.
But it gives
the red lighting
impression that it's a movie much more like what I'm assuming Trapped is. And by the way, if I watch Trapped and Trapped isn't that, I'm going to be so pissed. But
stay tuned, kids. So I would say though, like I'm going to just guess wildly out of the era that with a cover like that, they were trying to capitalize on some like Shining love, like get that Jack Torrance vibe, like we're in a hotel and someone's got an axe. So.
It's only 10 years after Shining had come out, so you figure it's still enough in the zeitgeist that people
Yeah, and you put
it was always once it was there, it was there. You know,
I mean, I'm talking about like normies. I think horror fans would catch that, but I wonder if in in 2003 would a regular person who wasn't super into horror movies necessarily make that connection. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if
I feel
you
like
saw the photo of Jack Torrance, the Here's Johnny photo, I feel like it's kind of like Psycho with the shower scene. And now I think there's younger generations that don't know those things, but I think throughout the 90s and early 2000s, it would be hard to find people that had been somewhat exposed to some media that didn't know what those things were.
That's a fair point. And this being in 1990, which, by the way, I am the best thing about this whole situation with this movie is I now can refer to it in the opening that we have covered 1990 movies thrice. I could say thrice every single time.
One of them, I don't want to totally derail us, and this might be a discussion for after we record, I don't know, but one of the 90s movies that you covered is being turned into Conjuring 4.
Oh, that's right. I think I did hear that before I
something to talk about later.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah,
that is something to talk about later.
What?
Okay, actually, it'd be fun. We should revisit. I'm totally giving away the sausage. We should totally revisit that movie because it's been so freaking long, and Allison was not a part of that one.
Right, I've seen it though. It's a good one.
The one.
What's it called? Is it
just The Haunting? I think it's The Haunting. Yeah.
No, it's The Haunted. Because The Haunting is that terrible 99 movie with Owen Wilson and
which is a remake of the great movie from the early
1963.
Oh my god, that remake is so bad.
I saw that in the theater.
Kate rewatched it once.
And I love Jan de Bont because of Twister's Speed and that he was the DP on Die Hard. And I hated that movie on so many levels.
Because
those CGI cherubs made me angry.
I know. I remember.
Terrible.
That's probably why they made, because that movie, the remake was all about the effects.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And they were
the 63 movie was just all about. I was, oh my god, I watched
the antithesis to what the original was.
Like,
I watched that by myself in a big room with
the original, not that 99.
Yeah, the original. It was.
I love the original.
Anyway, but we should talk it. We should definitely talk about that after we're done talking about this, because I think it would be fun to when it comes compare out, and contrast.
That'd be fun. All right, so Nightmare on 13th Floor. So Peter, what are your initial thoughts? Were you expecting a more slasher-esque movie, or the, let's just say it now, what did we get, which is more of a satanic cult movie?
Yeah, but you still get the not
kind of
not like the classic stalk and slash thing. You get more like he just appears and axes people.
More of a witch board with less I almost said boobs because of Tawny Katane. More with less blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is. Again, it's a TV movie. It's bloodless. Minus that for her.
Oh, there's a hand. There's a finger thing that happened.
Oh yeah, the fingers.
That was actually probably the most brutal. Yeah.
I think they wanted to have blood, but I think there was only so much you could do for cable TV at that point in time.
That wasn't paid. Like it wasn't like an HBO.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get because the point. Oh well, they did get.
USA kind of was known for showing more violent things. I feel like it's like one of those. It was like there was a lot of action. There was some horror stuff. So you could see they would often rerun the Friday the 13th movies in an edited version.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because I used to watch them in junior high constantly. But and they also were the network that released the movie Cherry Falls, which originally was supposed to be a theatrical release, but because of a myriad of issues, ended up being a USA. That. So technically, I guess that's a TV movie.
TV movie?
No, it wasn't originally.
It wasn't made. It wasn't made to be one, but it only got a network release. So its premiere was on the USA network. Do you remember
what the reason was? There some socially what was happening in the world reason?
Yeah,
it wasn't Columbine, was it? It was something. I feel like it was something like that, but I don't think it was Columbine.
I don't think it was specifically Columbine, although Columbine definitely was an influence on a lot of other films.
Like Scream 3, I know Scream 3.
It was a post-Scream slasher that was definitely doing the Scream style of formula with a twist within its own plot, which I guess I don't know if I want to give that away or not, but it's a fun one.
Yeah,
but they basically, I think what I remember reading was that the MMPA had issues with a lot of the content, a lot of the theming, and so they made them cut a bunch of the gore.
Yeah.
And they weren't really pleased with the sexual themes. And
yeah,
so,
and I don't want to give this away, but it very sure wasn't in the original cut. There a let's say large group of teenaged characters engaged in a certain thing. I see.
Oh, that still happens, but I feel like it was probably
toned
edited.
Toned down. Yeah.
But I mean, it's implied because that is like the plot of the story. So you can't really get rid of that. And then there's just some really weird, like, excuse me, father-daughter dynamics with Brittany Murphy's character and her cop dad.
Was it Michael Biehn, right? For her, who played her father?
I think so. There's just some, I love the movie. It's kind of ridiculous, but there's these weird moments where she's like kind of making a pouty face and going, "Oh, daddy." And I'm just like, what is this about? What's going on here?
So like putting the light like this and with my glasses gives me evil eyebrows.
It does. You look like you look like you'd be the leader of a cult.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I don't know. I just was thinking about the USA Network thing. So but I think there were just rules about how much blood you could show. But I also think that they were trying to make up for some of that with like a lot of, there's like red wallpaper and like some red lighting and just like, it's like, well, we can't have blood be gushing, but we're going to have red when the murders are happening. Which I liked. I thought that was a fun stylistic choice.
And I did like that early 90s USA Network look. Like certain movies have, even the ones like the Sarah Hardy one, which I didn't love the movie, but it still had that. It's almost like I'll call it like
to look at.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're well shot, and there's like almost like they put gauze over the lens or something to create that like soft look, you know. Yep. So I liked all of that about it. I think really my big issues were expectation and the lead character was you know, and I still feel like the reveal at the end was hilarious.
So
she wasn't bad. Like I said, she was. No. I don't feel like this is an actress. I think it's more writing.
No. I mean,
the character was kind of annoying and making all the bad choices. Like she was just continually making bad choices, and she was kind of irritating the police officer that she keeps trying to get to investigate.
John Carlin.
Which like always taking like either Tums or pills or something.
Yeah, he's like the classic disgruntled cop who's been working for decades and his gut is all messed up.
Yeah, he should have retired 15 years ago.
Worn the same suit for 15 years.
And John Carlin, if you're a Dark Shadows fan, played Willie on Dark Shadows for a long time. And so I always like seeing him and things, and I think he played a cop many times in the 80s and 90s because he just like became that guy.
Lacey's husband, and
right. I was just gonna say, like, I feel like there was a Cagney and Lacey tie.
Yeah. So
Now, what do I know Michelle Greene from? I feel like I know her from
L.A. Law.
I say no.
What? That's the show.
I was like, I was maybe, what would that come out? 86, 87. I was like 10. I was 11 years old. Why would I watch LA Law?
It definitely
8 is enough.
I did watch 8 is Enough, weirdly enough, in syndication. Okay. That's by the way, have I ever told a quick side story? That's the show that caused me to realize my parents were getting a divorce and made me ask them. Yeah, because now wait, what didn't give it away was the fact they were sleeping in totally separate bedrooms on opposite sides of the house. What didn't give it away was the lack of warmth and affection. No. What gave it away is I watched an 8 is Enough episode that obviously had a divorce theme to it. I'm like 8 years old, and I remember walking into my mom's now separate bedroom from my father and asking her, and her telling me, and I just lost it. And then literally for years, it was so upsetting for years. I was like afraid to ask questions because I was afraid if it was something I didn't want the answer to, because I thought like, yo, you kid, you.
Oh no. Joel disappeared.
Joel's so traumatized he disappeared.
Completely.
Oh. It's so dark in here. Oh, that's too bright.
Whoa.
What the heck?
Yeah, because maybe I can balance this light here, but then first of all, I have a bar right there on my glasses, and it's actually very distracting. Oh wow! Look, he's. How can you be in two places?
Did you clone yourself?
Oh,
that is so weird, man.
I liked that. You could
damn,
just do several. We could have like a Brady Bunch style mock
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
it's just the three of us
with something. So just to wrap that up. Sorry,
you were so traumatized.
I basically did that. Yeah, exactly. I had to leave the. I was getting so emotional. No, I like did that thing that kids do where you believe like you caused something to happen just by asking the question. You know that kind of thing.
Oh,
Needless to say, thanks 8 is enough.
So that's where, because she was on. I don't know how many episodes of LA Law. She was kind of a staple on that show. So
I guess she's very familiar. Like her face looks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. So I never watched Big Love. I never watched 6 Feet Under.
Oh wait, was she on 6 Feet Under?
That's
I
what
think
it says.
maybe
Fraker.
Just a couple of episodes. I think.
I feel like keep talking.
I watched
sorry.
all of that show. I mean, it's been a long time. I really like that show, but I don't remember her at all.
Yeah, I just feel like she's one of those actresses. I'm going to go through her IMDb, and there's going to be one thing that I'm going to be like, "Yep, that's it."
Yeah, LA Law.
Nope, not that.
LA Law. Peter's not letting it go. He's like,
that's where I recognize it from anyway.
Oh, you know what? It was She Woke Up Pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. That's a TV movie she was in.
Wait.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, I was like, she woke up pregnant. Like, hey, surprise!
That kind of implies that she was in a coma and something.
Yeah, that's what it does imply. That's exactly what that implies. And you know what? It's a 90s TV movie.
A month of boozing.
Hold on. Oh my God. Oh my, really? Here's the premise. I have to read this now. This is a TV movie, by the way. A sleazy dentist sexually assaults his patients while they are under heavy sedatives after he performs dental surgery on them. Holy crap, that's dark. Okay, moving right along.
And Seinfeld made a funny episode about that.
Oh God, how do you make a funny episode?
Did you ever watch Seinfeld? There's totally
I watched. I don't remember that one, though.
They're like all of a sudden, I think. Oh crap! The Breaking Bad guy. The dentist.
Cranston?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
So Bryan Cranston is the dentist, and he's a recurring character as the dentist. And then all of a sudden there's this episode where like, they don't take kids as patients at the dentist office anymore, and there's Penthouse in the waiting room. And I remember Kramer being like, "Yeah, isn't it great?" Yeah. And then Jerry like comes to after being put to sleep for a procedure, and his like shirt's untucked, and he's Mr. Neatnik, yes. So he's like,
"Yes,
what happened to me?"
Yes, I do.
Did I enjoy it?
And he sees people rinsing their mouths out and stuff, and he's like, "What's going on?"
So gross.
Imagine waking up to that.
Oh no, hard pass. All right, so back to
what did you remember her from? Is it
I honestly don't know.
Because I was looking through her filmography, and LA Law, I think that's where I probably remember her.
I mean, she was on the show Bones, one episode though. I watched Bones. I doubt I remember
I watched
her from
Bones.
that.
Yeah. LA Law also is just like because growing up being a kid when that was on, it's like the least interesting sounding thing. Yeah, you might have just been like, we go to the library and watch someone read the encyclopedia.
And I watched the 2000s version, which was called Suits. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I was raised by a lawyer, so I'm not really interested in lawyers.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a double whammy, right?
This isn't that interesting.
No, I think I read some. There's on this movie. There's no real middle ground on it, because either you really like it or it. I mean, I found a newspaper clipping. It's
the movie we're covering.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hang on. What is?
I love that we've gone all over the map, so we did.
It says
just clarify.
Transparent plot makes tension disappear in deadly dull nightmare on the 13th floor. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it was. I don't.
I guess I feel like with a movie like this, if they go like Invitation to Hell level crazy, it works better than if they kind of try to pull back.
I didn't think it was dull. I think we'll get to Nurse Ratched in a minute, but her character,
she was great.
She was great
over the place.
She was
like hilarious in itself, because she was a grumpy old lady.
Yeah, Louise Fletcher in this is great. I think for me, I definitely, like, if I'm looking at it critically, I'm like, yeah, this is probably not a great quality TV movie, because there's really good ones out there. But as a kid, it definitely made an impression on me because I loved the idea of the secret, creepy, like lost to time 13th floor.
Yeah.
And then the fact, and as an adult, as someone who just loves a haunted house, whether it's one you can actually go visit with actors or like a supposedly real one, like the gaslighting and the wallpaper and the decor and the weird, annoyingly creepy Victrola music that keeps playing. It's just, I love the atmosphere, and I love the weird idea of it. And I look at it and I kind of wish somebody could do something with the concept and make it better, but I'm still going to watch it. Like I'm never, I've revisited this a few times over the years and I'm never like super bored by it, but I do agree with you, Joel. I do not really care for the main character. I just find her behavior grating for the most part.
Yeah.
But I think that the hotel actually, like a more in-depth story of just like the people, how they formed their little satanic group within the hotel, and how everyone got convinced and roped in would be really interesting. I mean,
including Jenny from Muppets Take Manhattan, which really I found disturbing.
I mean, yeah, it would be like something for like a series for American Horror Story. I know they did a series called Hotel. I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I don't know if there's anything like this in that. But
do you know who was in Hotel?
Louise Fletcher?
No, James Brolin.
Okay.
He's
kind of a goofy villain in this.
Yeah, he really kind of is.
I like James Brolin, but like he's so friendly, and then at the end he's sort of like pleading and explaining his case, and it's just like, why would you do
gave that hysterical line. What is it? I wish I could remember exactly. I have to look it up and see if I can find it.
He does say towards the very end, as like, because the floor catches on fire because there's gas everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, please, I'll live forever. And it's like,
oh yeah, he's like begging her, like, come on. That was what it was. Yeah,
give me your life.
Come on, why won't you just work with me here? Yeah. Come on.
You must die so I can live on forever.
Yes.
That's not a bad choice, is it?
For her?
It's like he turned into Bobby Newport from Parks and Recreation. He's like, but I want it, so give me it.
And the way he looked in this, I mean, you have James Brolin.
Now I see Paul Rudd
the way he looks with that combed back hair, and that's, I don't know. He looks just it's not James Brolin as we've seen him in other.
No, but that's what's so weird, because he's so like leading man. Kind of like, and I guess
have you seen The Master of Disguise? Not the world.
The Dana Carvey movie?
Yeah.
No, I've only seen the little bit where he's talking about being turtle.
Turtle.
Yeah. And also you have this line where he's you're doing this. This is what I want you to do.
Yes, I remember that line. Yes. Yeah.
But James Brolin is in it, and I love his name in it. His name is Fabrizio Disguisi.
Wow, that's a good joke, really. No, here's the thing. In Amityville Horror, he's actually creepy. Like he's actually legit scary in that.
Yeah,
he is not scary in this. Like at all.
No, he's a flirty doctor.
And you know what? They honestly think the reveal on him should have been way earlier. Yeah.
And he's coming on to the main character, I'm just like, no, lady, no.
Run away.
Don't do it.
I don't know. I think honestly, my biggest disappointment is this is legitimately one of the ones for years I've put off watching, because I'm like, oh, we're gonna cover this one day. I love the poster.
Wait, so you're saying basically your disappointment is Allison's fault for talking about it?
No. I'm not blaming her for this one. I'm not blaming her for this one.
That's a twist.
Usually I blame her for the random number she picks and then happens to lead to a movie that she has no control over.
I had a feeling you weren't going to love this one. I figured you probably wouldn't like outright hate it.
No, I don't hate it. You're right. It's like, you know me, Allison.
Speaking of which, where did I see? I think, Haunted by Her Past is on Tubi right now.
Joel, subscription.
I love Tubi, but no, I will not watch that.
Yes, you will. I'll contact them and let them just
only funnel Susan Lucci movies to this house.
Yep.
Which I shouldn't say, because I'm invitation to hell. I love Invitation. Although there was what was that show? There was like a sitcom that Valerie Bertinelli on it and Betty White, and it came out in the 2010s.
Hot in Cleveland.
Yes, and I actually Heather and I watched that. My wife and I watched that, and honestly, I liked it. I was surprised how funny.
Valerie Bertinelli. And
I've heard
Betty
it's
White.
good.
Yeah, it was good. But there's the character. She was on Just Shoot Me and Dream On, and I'm
yeah. I know what you're talking. Her name and I can't think of her name, but she's been in lots of things. And she's great.
Yes. She's awesome. And in the show, she's like she's an actress and she's super narcissistic and full of herself. And throughout the entire series, she has this constant ongoing feud where she hates Susan Lucci because Susan Lucci takes like all the roles. And at some point, spoiler alert, Lucci actually shows up to kind of make fun of herself, which was awesome. And every time she would go, Lucci. So it became a running joke the couple of times that we had to cover these movies. I would look at my wife and go, Lucci. Because it's no offense to Ms. Lucci, but other than Invitation to Hell, we have yet to see one movie of hers that I'm not like.
I don't know.
Well, I think she's most fun when she's playing an evil character.
Yes,
like
over the
I
top.
think the other thing is in Haunted by Her Past, she's playing a
victim,
sort of
right?
bewildered, victimized woman who has a piece of wood for a husband. He's just like all done up to be handsome, but there's like, who's in there? Does anyone know?
Yes, exactly. By the way, Peter, we all saw the joke. It's called low hanging fruit, my friend. And yes, there's a joke in that too. Shut up.
I know. Anyway,
podcasting brings out Peter's inner 12-year-old. That's what we've decided.
Oh. You know what? My inner 12-year-old is always there. So
that's just the running conversations at our house too.
Fair enough.
It's like Elvira was writing our dialogue.
So, all right, director Walter Grauman.
Why do I recognize his name?
Well, he directed The Old Man Who Cried Wolf.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah,
he also directed Crowhaven Farm, which
I really like that one.
The witch,
I remember that. That's early days.
Let's see. Are You in the House Alone?
Okay, that was wasn't it the
that one's traumatizing?
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that one is another one. You know what? That's a good one because that one, like this one, I went in with an expectation thinking it was one thing, and it ended up being not that at all. Yeah. And it's like
it's a rough watch.
Weirdly, that movie did the inverse of this one. If memory serves, it's been a minute, but I thought going to that movie there was more of a supernatural angle, or more a straight up slasher. I can't remember, it was one or the other, but in that one, more of like a really unpleasant, like what it's dealing, what it's dealing with and everything.
Kind of gives the poster makes you feel like you're gonna watch our When a Stranger Calls. Kind of like
the
she's
Don't Go in the Woods kind of movie.
And someone's stalking her, but you don't see her get brutalized.
It's not that. It's not that. So Mr. Grauman, he's 2 for 2 with me. 2 movies that I was meh about, 2 that I actually kind of like a lot. So.
Okay.
Fair enough. And actually, I will say this. Once I saw the 13th floor of this, like the thought I had was, Allison, I know why Allison likes this movie. Because as soon as I saw the decor, I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it.
I want that to be a place where, okay. And your room is haunted?
Yeah, you're going to have to wait, Con. Sorry. I'm going to be off here in a little bit. Somebody wanted to use the other side of the garage. Like, no, you're going to blast out my spooky background. All right. So.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. All right.
Oh, he did episodes of Barnaby Jones, Fugitive, Untouchable.
Oh, in that case,
like that.
Barnaby Jones. You didn't say Barnaby Jones.
Yes. Murder, She Wrote, Untouchable, Streets of San Francisco. No, but Walter Grauman did a couple of cool movies. So
is Lady in relation to Grauman's Chinese theater? Isn't that what it's called? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so, but you could look it up later if you want to.
Okay. I will.
You want to know what the first thing I wrote down in my notes?
Why?
Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even shot there.
And I'm 99% sure, as a lifelong Floridian, that was not Fort Lauderdale. That was probably a beach near LA. That's what I'm thinking.
It definitely looked like California.
You know what it looked like? It looked like the opening of Three's Company. Like when they're,
I think it was shot in Santa Monica.
That's
because I was like, I've been there. Wait, no, I have not.
You have not been to that one, no.
Nope.
Yeah, Florida, and it's funny because like people I think would assume like, oh, it's a beach. No, you can tell the difference. There's definitely a difference between West Coast and East Coast.
I found this little tidbit online.
Okay.
Filming locations. Let's see. It was filmed in Los Angeles area, of course. Many of the interiors were shot at the Ambassador Hotel. The scenes in the kitchen were filmed at approximately the same spot where Robert Kennedy was assassinated.
Really?
How's
weird.
That for a tidbit.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That's weird. Oh, and by the way, Peter,
yes.
Trivia under Walter Grauman. First bit of trivia was a first cousin once removed of Sid Grauman, known for building Hollywood's Chinese and Egyptian.
Oh, all right.
His father was Sid's first cousin. Boom! Look at there. Look at there, son. I literally was just making all that other first part up, like where I guessed he was part of that. But it turns out he actually was.
Grauman is, I mean, that's not the most
no, it's not a really
usual
common sounding name. Yeah.
No. So
it's like it's Smith.
I wanted to mention one of the things that really cracked me up this time was at the very end of the movie, because if you've watched this, you know, there's like the big bad reveal where our main character, her and I can't remember the police officer character's name in it, you know, but like he gets killed.
Detective Rolades.
Okay, yeah, he gets killed, and Elaine Kalisher's being forced back up to the 13th floor, and she's going into the main room, and there's the desk, and there's the chair, and the chair is supposed to turn around like this. I don't know, made me think of like
Inspector Gadget,
Dr. Evil, or Inspector. Yeah, I loved Inspector Gadget. And the chair doesn't like smoothly turn around. It looks like
to kind of
it's jerky, and I'm just
like Dr. Evil.
I'm picturing, but it wasn't intentional, I don't think. And so I'm picturing James Brolin shuffling his feet, trying to make the chair rotate, and it was making me laugh so hard.
Yes, that was great.
I was like, I kind of love this even more because of this little stupid moment.
It would have been cool if you just did that and it turned around, because that's probably how it was supposed to go.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
or if he did it real fast, like a little kid, and he's just
and he went too far, like he overshot it, and he had to go back the other way.
That's what I would have done if I'd been the final villain.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Been like, oh wait, no, we're gonna kill you now.
Yeah, that is so great.
And
I have one right in the chair first.
That slick hair he has, that hairdo, it looks so weird for James Brolin.
And I will say also,
in a smoking jacket.
It's implied that he's the only one who gets to have the immortality. So
why are they helping him?
Yeah. So whenever I've watched this throughout the years, I've always been like, what is the motivation for the rest of this crew? Especially like Louise Fletcher's character. Like she's so into it. And it's like when the cops are like, when the cop shows the warrant to search the 13th floor, she's like, relax, we're gonna get the last 2 kills. And it's like, well, yeah, your buddy's gonna be saved, but not you. Like, he's gonna leave you holding the bag, and like someone's gonna come around asking about these murders, because
it's a contract, reading it like, oh wait, there's a catch here. Only him?
Yeah.
Hang on.
It would have honestly, it takes the slightest tweak that yes, he gets immortality, but he's possessed by like their demonic god, and
like that will grant them favors.
Yeah. There will be like his chosen disciples or something.
However,
whatever.
If we go to the twist ending of this one, where we go to the new hotel.
Oh yes.
But that implies because that whole 13th floor on the Wessex Hotel just obliterates it.
Which by the way, why wasn't she? Were you expecting her to turn around and have like a scar? I thought she'd have like a burn scar on her face or something.
Yeah. Well, and a few of the people got shot in the head, because it turns out Elaine Kalisher's a pretty good shot.
Oh,
I mean, it's close range, but she
was Annie Oakley. I literally yelled out, Annie Oakley, get your gun.
When you watch the cop character, when he's in there by himself, he keeps like relaxing, and like he drops the gun in fear at one point, and he's not I'm just like, you're scared, and you're a cop, and you've been trained. You're holding onto your weapon the entire
what it was?
time.
I know what it was, Allison. Calcium poisoning from all the Tums he eats.
Yeah, I wrote that down here.
It really felt like It was just so that she could pick up the gun because they needed her to
Plot
get the gun.
device, 100%.
But it was just kind of jarring. I was like, he's terrible with his weapon, and this little mousy like hotel living section of the magazine reporter is really kick-ass with the gun.
Yes.
And then she's like running back, and she's like, "Don't hurt me," and I'm like, just shoot him. Don't ask him to not hurt you. Clearly he's going to.
He's right after you with an axe. Why would you?
Yeah.
I criticize with love, though. I still just enjoy the hell out of this one.
It's a fun watch, but there's a moment like when the what was the character's name? Working at the office, found the state plan.
The one who lives. The one that's at the end.
City planning office or city engineer's office.
Yeah, something like that. When she's
the building inspectors for the city, basically.
Yeah. And she screws the buttons off, and she loses her glasses into. I was like, wait.
Oh,
how did you lose them?
She has her Velma Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah.
Do you think without
how do you lose? I thought you just dropped them, but she like, oh my glasses.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you even do that?
How do they pop?
Okay, so you say how do you do that? But earlier this week, I have glasses that I use for when I drive at night and like distance stuff, and they're kind of loose, and I've been meaning to tighten them. And I was in the car, and I was supposed to be somewhere, and I was in a hurry, and I looked down, happened to be looking down as I was about to shut the car door, and my glasses fell off, and they went into the car door, and the door crunched the glasses. It didn't break miraculously, but a lens popped out, and we could not find the lens for 2 days until finally we found it tucked into a weird part of the back seat door.
That's
like,
weird.
Wait, what?
Okay. But see, that's the point.
I don't know.
No. Things like that can happen in real life, but then what happens in a movie, you're like, come on. But I honestly think if you here's the problem, because there's no establishing of anything with the character. Like you just said, your glasses have been loose and you've been meaning to tighten them for a while. So either A, you needed that character to say some comment. Like they keep slipping up her nose, and the guy she's with, he's like, hey, I keep telling you to tighten your glasses or whatever. Something stupid.
And see, fortunately for me, my eyesight's good enough that like I don't have to wear them all the time, and I would definitely be able to tell if someone was coming at me with an axe or being friendly down a hallway.
I mean,
yes,
I can still see you.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's not like
you're not completely. We're not just like blobs of light.
No. I use these for kind of like this. But she was,
and she touches the gas light fixture, and she's like, which is so that she's like, oh, it's gas, but it's but it's the thing is like anybody who's watching this in the 90s, we didn't have like LED flicker bulbs yet, really, and like a flicker light bulb doesn't look anything like that. The incandescent, or I don't even know what you call them. There's a non-LED version that's pretty cool, but like,
I have flickering flame thing.
You wouldn't touch an incandescent light fixture necessarily because that could potentially be hot depending on how much wattage is in the bulb. I don't know. I'm a lighting nerd, so I was looking at that and I was like, why would you do that? Like for any reason?
Probably for the same reason why you would apparently chuck your glasses into a open electrical.
Yeah. How did she
so that we could tell she was a sitting duck.
My glasses are not coming off.
Yeah, exactly.
So
starting to look like you're moving your head around, and it's starting to turn very Jacob's Ladder.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. It did have that. Yes.
I love that movie.
And I only know that
YouTube video feed.
And I only know that from the trailer because I've never seen that movie.
The movie's so good.
I've never seen it.
I love that
I need to watch that movie. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
yes, Peter.
Just to establish, if people haven't seen this one, which they probably haven't because we didn't.
48 minutes in, folks, and we're establishing things. Go ahead.
Yes. I mean, she arrives at this hotel and supposedly she's writing a report about it. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of where she starts looking into the disappearances. Yes, she does that too, but that's not why she's there. And she meets this lovely old lady, the crystal lady. She's going to a crystal convention. And by the way, she holds her, can you feel it vibrate? Do you actually let people touch your crystals? Because I seem to have read something about it and heard from one of my daughters. No touchy-feely on other people's crystals.
As somebody who's been to a metaphysical fair or two, I do not believe that woman is an accurate representation if she goes to the crystal convention. But
you are not serious. Next, you're going to tell me this does not somehow is like a good representation of satanic cults. Come on.
Because do you think I know about those things?
I don't know.
No.
I do. I wanted to mention Harvey Vernon. He was the old guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna real quick bring up his photo because I don't know if you know.
Harvey Vernon? Who is that?
He is this guy, right?
Oh, yeah. That was the yeah.
He was in Teen Wolf.
That's the photo.
Well, also all of me.
Teen Wolf is I think the main thing I remember him from.
Wolf.
Old man clerk. There you go.
He was the old man clerk from Teen Wolf.
He was also Thomas. Yeah. Okay, now that's right.
I feel like he was in something. Oh, L.A. Law, Peter. That's what I know him from.
Sure.
Snoops.
I think I seem to remember who else was in Snoops?
Snoops.
My stepmom was into that show.
John Carlin was in Snoops.
Oh,
it's like stirring a memory.
Tim Reed. I actually vaguely remember this movie. I mean, show. It's a show, right? Yeah, it's a show.
Same here. Yeah.
It was only like a season or two, right? I don't know. Why do I remember that? It's so bizarre.
Episode
LA Law I never watched, but apparently I watched
That's
Snoops.
on Tubi.
Yeah, I bet.
Tubi has all kinds of fun older shows that you forgot existed.
There's like 1 or 2 seasons of.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I know him from that. So, is there anybody else in the cast that we want to mention before we
just kind of glazed over Louise Fletcher, Nurse Ratchet.
She never did anything other than this movie, right?
No, she didn't.
Yes, she is Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes. She's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, actually, she was in another TV movie we covered, wasn't she?
Yeah, The Haunting of Seacliff Inn.
That was it.
Yep.
Playing a nicer person, if I remember correctly. It's been a while.
I love her in this one, though.
I just enjoy her whenever I see her in things. It is kind of fun to see her play against type. Once in a while, she's not doing that in this. She's definitely playing a.
I love. She always has a cigarette. She's like in the kitchen. Always got a cigarette.
And criticizing that poor guy making an ice sculpture.
I know.
What it basically is just what is this?
Yeah, and what cracks me up is like it's actually like shocking. It's like a really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. She's
I'm like she could do better. What? Yeah,
I know. I think if I was the ice sculptor, I'd just hand her the tools and be like, "Knock yourself out, lady.
Go for it, lady. You're so smart." And then she would just take her cigarette
and like
burn it
and use that to melt away.
And then people be like, "Why are there ashes embedded in his eyes?"
Mm-hmm. No, she was a fun character in this one, actually. So, and then
I loved it when she. I mean, it's terrible what she does, but when she like tricks the poor like homeless guy that everyone refers to as the derelicts, which was
with the boots, the guy with the boots.
Yeah, that dude. She offers him a meal, and it's very upsetting because it's like, you know, people take advantage of people in these situations all the time, and she sticks him in the elevator and sends him up to the 13th floor with the promise of food, but then she just hauls off and shoves him, which I thought was like kind of also funny. She's just like bam, and then slams the door shut, like bye.
One other little thought too: if this guy, the James Brolin character, is looking for immortality, he's the only one that gets anything out of this. He's got these people helping him. Once he was down to the last couple, why did it matter who he killed? Like, could he have just killed anybody?
I mean, they killed a maid who was in on it. Like, because she
that was Jenny from Muppets Take Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Poor girl.
Apparently things didn't turn out so well.
No. Apparently, what was the name of the show, the big show they put on in Muppets Take Manhattan?
Oh god.
It was like something New York. Dang it.
It's been a while since I've watched those.
I love that movie.
I love all of those Muppet movies.
Yeah. Yes, I do too, all the way up until there was a moment. I can't remember when. It wasn't when Disney bought them. Because the only thing
movies.
There was one movie with the one with what's his name? God dang it. Was Amy Adams in it?
Oh, what was that one called?
What?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. And it has
It wasn't Muppets Most Wanted. It was the other one, right? There was just the Muppets, I think.
It
And
came
then
out like 15 years ago or something.
yeah, and then they made
it
the
was
sneak,
the
like the
Jason
one
Segel.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of, Jason Segel. But I think they did the Muppets Most Wanted after. I think it was Muppets Most Wanted.
I didn't see that one.
That was not good. That was bad. That was very bad.
I really liked the Muppet Haunted Mansion because if you're
I
a
did
nerd,
too.
if you're a nerd for the Haunted Mansion and also a Muppet nerd, the crossover jokes are so good.
Yes, I'm more of a Muppet nerd, but I loved that. I was shocked at how good it was. And then yeah, but Muppet Treasure, Muppet Christmas Carol, we watch every year.
Yeah, same.
Love the Muppet Christmas Carol, bro.
Michael Caine just playing that straight and serious makes that movie. It's so good.
Good. Oh, yes, Daryl.
Yeah. So kids, we went from a haunted or satanic cult.
If I'm being honest, it's because I'm kind of done talking about this movie. That's how you can tell.
He needs to think about the Muppets for a while to feel better.
Happy thoughts. Now, look, you actually had me pegged on this one, Allison. I did not hate it. I just didn't. I guess I wanted it to be the thing that I thought it was, which is on me, not the movie's fault. I get that. But it's fine. I didn't loathe it. I'm happy I saw it for the show. I just this is definitely not a haunted by our past situation.
I'm not mad about it.
And I can just say thrice from here on out until we mess it up by picking a new 90s movie.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I got the really weird part about this movie, where what was the name now?
Other than James Brolin is some weird satanic immortal.
Yeah. Elaine Kalisher, when she's out, she's looking at a teapot because apparently she collects teapots.
Oh yeah, totally.
One the bunny teapot at the start place. That teapot, I was like, I recognize that teapot. I think my grandma had one.
Really?
And it when she's in the store looking to buy.
Okay, I have the cups that go with that teapot.
Oh,
yeah.
I totally have some of that set in my cabinet, like right back there.
My mom has those too. So I think, and I've seen the teapot. So either it's non-existent anymore because it broke, or my mom still have it. I'm not sure, but my grandma had it. Because I recognize that one.
Yeah, no, I recognized it too. I was like, I know that pattern.
Yeah.
That's funny. I wonder, was it just from that era? Like it was just I
think it was a really popular pattern at one time, and so a lot of people had it because it's really
floral with gold on top of it. Maybe not
with the rose pattern.
I probably should have looked closer because my grandmother always had like some kind of tea set or whatever. Yeah, she might have even had it. Yeah, that's cool.
So real quick, because you're talking about like I don't know how many more 90s movies we'll get. So
there's
because of. I mean, there's got to be a lot, but like I'm just looking at this bloody disgusting list of just the USA ones, and it's like without spoiling anything about the plot, just there's the China Lake murders, which is one I've seen before.
I've always wanted to see that. I've not seen that. I want to see that one.
That's from 1990.
My buddy Rick actually, we've talked about that one. Yes.
There's I'm Dangerous Tonight from 1990, which I also think I've
heard of that. I've heard that title.
There's something called Wheels of Terror, which I have not seen.
I've heard that title.
There's Buried Alive from 1990.
With Matheson. That one I like.
And then Child of Darkness, Child of Light from 91.
I've heard of all these titles at least. Yeah, I don't.
Lightning Field from 91.
Not heard of that one.
Deadly Game from 91. Strays.
Yeah.
Strays.
I have it on Laserdisc. I have it on Laserdisc autographed by Mick Strawn, who helped do the set design for the house.
Hopefully I'm not stressing out Peter with the list. I'm just saying there's all these things.
You added movies, damn it.
Psychic from 1992, which has Catherine Mary Stewart in it.
And Zach Galligan.
Listen, so I don't stress right now trying to write these down. Send me the list.
I will send you the article. It's a good article. It's fun. But yeah, no, there's tons of 90s just from USA alone. Dead Air from 94. I've
heard of that. I may have seen that one a lot.
Seduced by Evil.
I've heard of that.
I'll add another year to our podcast.
They did a trilogy of terror
sequel.
Sequel.
I've seen that. I have seen that.
Yeah, 96. That's apparently that was
and
USA
there's a different
production.
actress. Yeah, and it's a different actress who does kind of the Karen Black thing where she does.
That one does a remake of the segment of Bobby from
that's right
from
Dead of Night.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, like we will get to. I know that not all of these are on the list, probably, but like we will get to some of these. I feel like
some of them are on the list.
Don't do
already.
it too soon because I want to keep saying thrice in our intro.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, so I know we don't do 2000s ones, but there's this one on my want to watch list called Terror Tract from the year 2000.
Wait, we don't use.
I was about to say,
or maybe we do.
We're 25 years past 2000.
Okay, well, I didn't know. You always say like, you know, into the
Yes,
few
I've
in the
added
90s.
one from 2000s.
So there was a it's a John Ritter movie, and it's just it's on my Letterboxd want to watch list.
Oh yeah,
I saw it. And I was like, this looks interesting.
I'm not gonna even if we have a good one from like 2008 or something. I mean, I'm saying like I am fine with that. The problem is I think once you get past a certain time, I would argue once you get past the 80s, they cease to be like the kind we've been talking about. But every once in a while,
I put on.
Did you ever see Cabin by the Lake with Judd Nelson? That was an early year title. 2001. That was on USA. It was like, I think I still had access to cable at that point because I was in college.
I need this list, Allison, because apparently I was not done adding movies.
No, you're not.
You'll never be done.
You'll never be done.
Probably not.
All right. Well, on that note, we really don't have to pick a movie this time because
someone already picked it for us.
Should we remind everyone what the next one is in case?
Yeah, just in case they want to find it.
So let me go back to because I forgot the title as well. Because apparently I have a 30-second memory span. Yeah. Like, what are we doing? Who are you? Yeah. So for next time it'll be the Eyes of it's loading. Eyes of Charles Sand from 1972. And it is available last time I checked on archive.org.
Is that the only place?
It's not on YouTube.
No, nope. Wow. Okay.
But archive.org is pretty great. So if you're able to access that, they do not have a Roku or like a direct like smart TV channel link. So it'd be one of those, if you want to watch it on a bigger screen than your phone or your computer, then I recommend doing one of those, like a Castbox app or something, so you can watch it. But I did look at, I'm not going to spoil or anything, but I did look at some photos from it and I'm kind of excited. I'm trying to not front load, but visually it looks fun.
Photos. Do you think I'm going to like it?
No clue.
We have no clue to what you like, Joel.
No idea.
I'm very weird.
But it from what I've just quickly glanced at it, it looks interesting. So
okay.
Yeah, I just saw some scenes and I was like, this looks like a me kind of movie.
Okay. and we both know that from that perspective, it can go either direction.
Totally.
Sometimes you're like, it's a you movie. I'm like, oh, it was a fantastic movie. And then
person and I like certain spooky elements, I'll just say. And so I was like, this is scratching a certain itch for like a spooky vibe.
Cool. All right. Well, then on that note, Allison, if people want to I don't know, get with that spooky vibe, that sounded weird.
That sounds slightly inappropriate.
Yeah, I did. We kind of did. Yeah, sorry. Well, I was going to do something with the whole scratching the itch, and I'm like, no, don't go there. That sounds really bad. All right, so spooky.
I already made a comment about Susan Lucci and Married to Woods. So.
No, yeah.
This is the sexual innuendos in this episode.
Peter constrained himself for the obviousness of that comment.
Little part of his head exploded.
Yeah, exactly. So people who are also into the spooky vibes, maybe that's a better way of saying it.
Let's see. Well, here first and foremost, and then also if you want to check out my old podcast, The Haunted Davenport, you can go to thehaunteddavenport.com or check us out on Apple Podcasts is a good way as well. Nice little ghost Peter has there. And I actually have been able to access the website, and so we're not planning to do any new episodes anytime soon, but I was having trouble with my computer previously, so I might be able to post some spooky music when it comes to October time. If people are interested in more Halloween playlists, I've uploaded some there in the past, so I will probably be sharing some more Halloween music this year. Nice. Or if you want to look at spooky home haunting projects and art, you can check out Clark Memorial Gardens on Instagram. If you want to see my other art, it's littlewingfairyart.com, and then on all social things. And I'm on Letterboxd as Horror Unicorn. So that's everything. That covers it.
Cool. Peter.
Yes.
Where might one scratch your itch or catch your spooky
See,
vibe?
if you looked at
Nope.
And
this isn't a medical Zoom call or one of those services.
Yeah. Whoa. Peter,
they can find me here,
Mm-hmm.
looking at TV movies from apparently all ages.
Yes, apparently.
So, and that's basically it for podcasting wise at the moment. I know Hugh has been starting up and updating his, so maybe we will be recording something there soon. So
cool
on that Wookiee podcast. Other than that, they can find me here. I'm also on Letterboxd, not under Horror Unicorn. I'm under my name, I think. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
No, just me.
Just me?
Not just, yeah. So you're Peter Nielsen, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah. I'm on Letterboxd anyway.
Okay.
And other social medias where you
just tell them to get on Letterboxd and look up. They can't miss you.
Yeah. I always look down at people.
It's like we're bashing on social media earlier. That is a social media app that it's not super social, but I enjoy the hell out of it. I love reading people's movie reviews.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
But it has a specific express purpose to it, not just keep you on here addicted. And make you want to jump off a bridge.
No, there's no doom scrolling on Letterboxd.
Yeah, no.
Or if there is, somehow you're doing it very wrong.
Yeah. No. All right. Well, Peter, thank you for all that, my friend. I obviously can be found here as well. And of course, Mom and Pop Video Shop on YouTube, which if you're listening to the audio only version of this, there is the video version, which is where you can watch the three of us sit here and
maybe
talk.
Me and Allison should add that because we're here too.
Yeah, it's true. Fair enough. Yes, for that. And of course, the Disney horror movies. When I can, I try to be over there. We just recorded Bring Her Back. Which is a movie I rated highly, but will never watch again. All right. So I probably had to chop out like 20 minutes of us talking, but it doesn't matter. We are going to wrap this bad boy up. I think we said every place that you can find us for the most part. And until next time, remember, when it's late at night and you can't sleep, you might find yourself flipping through the channels. And if you do, beware, because you never know. You just might stumble across terror on the tube.